you're going to ask me to climb steps. Have you met me? Ask Robert. I can find a hole in any yard.
You're me, sister.
Okay, so yes, I am Naomi Andrews. I am running for Congressional District 2. That is essentially 28 counties touching Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Texas. Basically everything except for Tulsa County. It includes a little bit of Rogers County, so check your map, see if you're in my district, or take a yard sign anyway, because people might be driving by your house that recognize my name on the ballot November 8th. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight is about finding hope within ourselves. Right now, things are exciting. And not to be a pessimist, but they were exciting in 2022. And luckily we saw President Biden get elected. But there were some races right here in Oklahoma that we thought were going to be won, that we thought could be won. And yet somehow they were not. And I think that right now where we are is because so many people continued to work after President Biden was elected. We recognize that the election didn't end that day, because right now we aren't just working or fighting to get a politician that we like elected to send them to DC or to send them to Oklahoma City. Right now we are working and we are fighting for the values of Oklahoma. And our values are much more like the people who we think don't like us than they're different, right? How many of you guys have Republican friends? All of us, right?
Except Adam.
Except Adam.
I was literally in a daze. With my head down. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. He's heard me talk a lot. So, but no, we all know somebody and love somebody who votes a little bit different than we do, or who is only registered different than what we are. Maybe they aren't even voting. And the fact is, people across this state are fed up. They are fed up with politicians who care more about their egos and about their self-promotion than they care about this state. They are fed up with people who care more about getting on the news or going to some big fundraiser in Washington, D.C., where apparently my opponent has already been asked to sit on a committee, and they're saying, oh, well, the polls say that he's going to win. Well, let me tell you something. I do not care what the polls say, because I am not trying to prove the polls right. I am trying to motivate people to contact your friends, to contact your family, to go talk to your neighbors, find the courage deep inside of you to speak up, to open your mouth, to pour out your heart, and to say, we can change Oklahoma, but it's going to take all of us. And if we are truly to be the United States of America, like Adam Martin said, we have to have united policies across this country. We can't say that women in Oklahoma deserve to have different rights than a woman in Connecticut. We can't say that children in Oklahoma don't deserve the same education as a child in California, or a child in Washington, or a child in Rhode Island. And if we are going to sustain this difference, or this change that we are seeking, we have to work together. And we have to say that there is nothing that's going to get us to leave. I have been through some experiences in my life where it would have been a lot easier just to give up. But somehow, when it was darkest, there was something inside of me. I think my grandma would call it orneriness. But the more dangerous the situation, the more fear I felt, the more anger I felt. And if somebody said, you can't do that, or you can't leave, or you can't go, I said, watch me. And it may not be November 8th, but I'm committed to the fight. And it may not be in 2024, but I promise you this: if you do not give up, if you reach out to people and really reach out to them. I mean, post it on Facebook. Yes, we love that. Post it on Twitter. Boost us. That's great. But reach out to your friends and neighbors and have a heart-to-heart. I don't know how many of you guys are religious or have ever proselytized or evangelized, but that's what we have to do, because even though this race is not necessarily about religion, it is about our values. And so many of us derive our values from the things that we were taught by our parents, by our faith. And we have to be willing to talk about it. And we have to be willing to talk about it in a reasonable way that's not going to make them plug their ears before they even hear what we have to say, because they care about their kids too. They want good jobs too. They want to have a good quality of life and to be able to afford their insulin or to be able to afford going to the doctor. And so we have to find the way to do that. And I'm going to be in it with you. So let's reach down and find all of the anger, all of the rage, all of the hope, all of the love, all of the compassion, all of the ability that we have to care about somebody who thinks so differently than us, to see the way that these bad policies aren't just hurting us, they are hurting them whether or not they see it. And reach out a hand and say, are you registered to vote? Is your voter registration up to date? Have you heard about this candidate? I know you care about our schools. You should meet Jennifer. I know you care about fighting against corruption. You need to meet Susan, who's running against a super corrupt person who is somehow allowed to run again, even though, you know, all of these things people care about. Tell them about Madison, about Kendra, about women who are fighting against, I don't even know if you guys see some of the things that people say about you if you're a woman and you're running for office. And donate some money. I love all of our candidates that are running, but there are some of us who are in yachts, and there are some of us who are in canoes, and there are some of us who are drowning when it comes to money, when it comes to just boosting online, when it comes to door knocking or phone banking or talking to people. We're all in the same storm though, right? But if we only give resources to the people who already have them, we're not going to change Oklahoma. Because if we don't get Gina Nelson elected, I always call her Jenna, I'm sorry. We don't get Gina, there I did it again. If we don't get Gina elected and Joy elected, it's not going to make that much of a difference in education. And my opponent has already accepted or benefited. I can't say accepted because they're not allowed to coordinate. And I'm not saying he's doing anything illegal, but also I'm not saying that. But my opponent has already benefited from $3.4 million of money from a school voucher PAC. A PAC that he used to work for. But it's somehow uncoordinated. And again, not saying that he's doing anything illegal per se. He probably found a technically correct way of doing it. What's the best type of correct? Technically correct, apparently. But the thing is that even if he didn't ask for that money or solicit that money, when that billionaire from Pennsylvania who wants to have a say in where our kids go to school calls him if he goes to Washington, you know he's going to pick up the phone. Because he's going to be so scared of not getting reelected or not getting that money to help him get reelected that he'll just feel like he has to. So I don't have any billionaires, but if you know some, send them my way. And also, I will not pick up the phone because I will be too busy doing the work of the people. Thank you so much. I'm Naomi Andrews for Congress. Take a sign.